my channel, She Plans, She Budgets. In today's video, we'll be closing out my budget for the month of December, so let's get started. All right, so I have my December calendar view opened up right here. So I plan on just going page by page just to close everything out. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. If you caught my last video, which was my week 4 check-in, you see me lay down all of these stickers for the last week of December. So now for this page to close it out, I just want to go ahead and verify that all of the expense trackers and bills were checked off and paid, and also count how many no spend days I have for the month. So just looking over my expense trackers, everything looks good. I didn't miss anything this month. Alrighty, and then now I just want to count my no spend days. So for the month I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wow. Way more than I was expecting. So 16 no spend days out of 31. That's almost what? That's 50%. That's awesome. So 16 no spend days. Alrighty. And then that should be it for this page. I really enjoyed this color scheme for this month. All right, so that's pretty much it for this page. So I had a total of 16 no spend days, which is awesome. All right, now for this page, we can just go ahead and total all of my expenses and write that down here at the bottom. So starting with week 1, I had
11, 24, plus 3, 60, 86, plus 95, 58, plus 885, plus 11, 90, plus 31, 35, plus 40, 60. That's the end of week 3. Week 4, 257, 95, plus 22, 22, plus 9, 31, plus 3.
All right, so after the 4 weeks for December, I spent a total of $1,467.54. All right, so this number should match my cash envelope section in my monthly budget. So we will remember this number. On the next page for my savings tracker, I'm going to save this for the end to see if I want to add anything from anything that might be left over from here. All right, so for the monthly budget, we can go ahead and verify the income section. So all of this did happen. So we saved $4,925 from November's paychecks. And then from one of our December paychecks, we did add the additional $108 to account for one of my sinking funds. And that totaled the $5,033 that we budgeted for the month of December. All right, and so starting with the bills, all of these numbers we did verify in each weekly check-in. So just to total them up, so we had $22.59 for rent, plus $103.33 for water, $9.58 for renter's insurance, $48 for subscriptions, $60.30 for the internet bill, $89 for my dance membership, $108.28 for the electricity bill, and nothing was spent in the buffer. So in total for this section, we spent $2,677.49 for bills, which is awesome. Next for cash envelopes, we see here we budgeted the $1,550, but we do need to do some more calculations on the couple pages after in the results section. So here I'm going to just bring down the remaining numbers from week 4 in the results section, because that will be the same. So $81.54 for gasoline, $28.78 remaining from household. For personal spending, I have a remaining of $10.65. And then lastly, from entertainment, I have a remaining of $69.11. And then I will also bring down the negative number, so 106.84 for groceries and 78 cents from eating out. So for your weekly check-in, you could just go by each week and add up each category to see what you spent total for the month. But just to make it easier on myself, I'm just going to do the total that was added for the month, which is the same from week 1. And those match the budgeted numbers here. And then I'm just going to subtract it from the remaining from week 4. So that way I know how much I spent in total for the month for each category. So gasoline had $200 to start. I'm ending with $81.54. So that means I spent a total of $118.46. For groceries, I started off with $850. Sorry if that was out of frame. $850. I spent an additional $106.84. So that means in total, I spent $956.84. And that is a lot. Whew. For household, started off with $200, spent $28.78. So in total, spent was $171.22. All right, for personal spending, I started off with $100. I'm ending with $10.65. So that means I spent $89.35. Okay, for eating out, I spent a total of $100.78. And then lastly, for entertainment, I started off with $100. I'm ending with $69.11. So that means I spent $30.89. Okay, so these are the numbers we needed for the monthly budget view. So I'm going to copy these numbers down right here. So back on this page, and I think I'm going to zoom in a little. Okay, so we know we just calculated the $118.46 for gas. So I spent a total of $118.46. For groceries, spent $956.84. So $956.84. I was wondering if I should have wrote that in red. I guess it doesn't matter. For household, I spent $171.22. So $171.22. Personal spending was $89.35. So $89.35. Eating out was the $100.78. And then entertainment was $30 and I believe 89 cents. Yes. All right, so let me get this grand total. So $118.46 plus $956.84 plus $171.22 plus $89.35 plus $100.78 plus $30.89. Okay, so that should match the number from the expense log, $1,467.54. Okay, so let's see if that matched. Okay, and it does. $14.67.54. So that matches. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to come down here to the miscellaneous section, starting with sinking funds. For sinking funds, we will close this out separately, but I did add in the $733 for the month. So that was the actual $733. For unbudgeted, we did have one expense for the month, and that was this Uber ride right here for $28.65. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. So $28 $465, and we didn't have any other expenses to add in. So let me total that, which was $733 plus the $28.65 equals $761.65. $761 with 65 cents. All right, so now for the breakdown. So for the actual income, we know that we did have the $5,033. For bills, we spent $2,677.49. For cash envelopes, we came under as well. We spent $1,467.54. And then for miscellaneous, we was a little bit over than the budgeted, but that's all right. And it was $761.65. All right, so my total remaining for the month is $5,033 minus $2,677.49 minus $1,467.54 and minus the $761 with 65 cents. So for the remaining for the month, I should have $126 with 32 cents. So 126 with 32 cents remaining. So in my weekly balance for week 4, we know that for bill money, we had $43.86 remaining. And for cash envelopes, we had $82.46 remaining, not including sinking funds. So total that up is $126.32. So that is where that $126.32 is coming from. It's the total of the remaining from bill money and cash envelopes. All right, so all of that totals. So we pretty much closed out the budget. So weekly balance is all good. The weekly check-in is all done. We will close out my sinking funds. The monthly budget is all good. And we will do my savings tracker as well. The expense log is good, and the calendar view is all good. Alrighty. So now let's just talk about what I'm going to do with this $126.32. My first idea was to roll over extra money into the entertainment fund for January, just because we had some things planned to do. But I don't think it's going to cost more than our $100 budgeted amount. So now I'm thinking, do I want to add some of this money into sinking funds, or do I want to put it into our car savings? Because right now we do have a big goal of $20,000, and we hope to achieve that by the end of July, or at least get very close to it. So I'm wondering if I should put it towards savings or just roll it over into January in case there's anything that we want to do. And I'm kind of leaning towards rolling it over, because if we don't use it in January for something else, then I could always add it to savings then, is what I'm thinking. But one thing about me, once I declare something as savings, I won't touch it after that. Urgent, or, you know, something really bad happens and I don't have a choice, but once I declare it as savings, I won't touch it. And I don't want something fun to come up and then be like, darn it, I don't have enough money, because I told you with the paychecks, we just put a certain amount towards bills and then the rest towards savings. So I'm trying to think. I'm going to just say, I'm going to just roll it over for now. And then if I do decide, or if we don't end up using it in January for some other purpose, I think I'll just put it into the car savings then. Which means I'm going to go ahead and close this page out, because I left it for the end of the month in case I wanted to add anything from the monthly budget. But now that I changed my mind on that, I'm going to just go ahead and add this up. So $49.25 plus $800 plus 108 plus 609 and 21 cents plus 644 and 40 cents equals $7,086 with 61 cents. And these is the total of the transfers that we made between our high yield savings account and our second checkings account. And then I don't think I need to total this side, only because these are multiple accounts, so the total wouldn't, you know, you get what I'm saying. All right, so basically for account 2 holds the 1 month ahead, so that's how we're able to fund the following month. So the paychecks that we got in December is funding January. So that's why for January, I'm able to start with the full amount up front of $5,033, so that we have all of our money up front in the beginning of the month to disperse how we set forth in our January budget. And then we just go from there. And then so all of the paychecks we collect in January will go towards the second account for saving purposes, and then in the beginning of February I will transfer the money to the main account that we keep track of right here. This is the main account where all the transactions take place, as far as what you see on this calendar view. That's how we're able to do that. So we save the paychecks from the month prior or the current month, and then we use it to fund the following month. All right, and so then both of our emergency fund, our starter emergency fund, and the car savings, those are in the high yield savings accounts, or account, because it's one. So that was fully funded this month, which I'm very happy for. And then now we're starting on the car savings, and I explained why we are prioritizing the car over their emergency fund. So feel free to check out my December sinking funds and savings tracker update if you're more interested in that background story. So yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead and close this out because we completed these 2 goals earlier in the month. So now for car savings, the total is the $644 with 40 cents. And percentage wise, 644.40 cents divided by 20,000. So that is 3.2%. So we are at 3.2%. I'm gonna just put 3.22% of the way completed. And for total saved, that will be the same number, because I'm keeping track of what we saved this month. Emergency fund was the only fund that had some funds from November in it. So the 1409.21 is what I'm factoring in this number, because I'm basically just going to rewrite this number. So the total saved for the month was $7,086.61. And I'm pretty happy with that number. Okay, so that's done. And then, like I mentioned, this 126.32, I'm going to roll it over into January. So you'll see this number again, 126.32. All right, last but not least, sinking funds. We're going to go ahead and close this out. Okay, so starting with my self-care category, it started off with 0. I added $85. So out of $85, I spent a total of $20.06 and $25. And actually, I might not need my calculator, because I see here that it has a remaining of $39.94. So let me write that down for the ending, $39.94. And I spent a total of $45.06. So minus $45.06. For pets, I just had the one transaction for $18.08. Then that left me with $46.92. But as I mentioned in my sinking funds video, for the pets and vet and grooming categories, I like to take the remaining money in pets and add it to vet and grooming, since I only add a little bit each month, just so it's a way to you know, build it up. Because I like to just refresh the pets of $65 every month, and that number works out for us. So I'm just going to write down one last transaction. So the pets category, I'm going to mark that down as the full amount spent, $65. And I start this fund off at 0 each month. So I really only spent $18.08, but the $46.92, I'm going to add it into the vet and grooming fund. So let me write down vet and grooming. And today is the 1st. And I'm going to transfer, or not really transfer because it's all in the same account. I'm just going to reassign the $46.92 from the pets category. So now vet and grooming. Okay. I'm just going to add that up later. Okay. So next for home projects, $50 is what I started the month off with. And for home projects, I only had the one transaction, which was $17.60. So minus $17.60. And that left me with $32.40. So $32.40. And this really helps me when I do this portion, this remaining column, because then I don't have to do the calculations like I'm ready to do, but realizing I don't need to do. For car maintenance, I only had the one transaction, which was for $2.10, and that left me with the $2.79 and 67 cents. So I'm just going to mark down, we spent $2.10. For car insurance, that's not due yet, so there shouldn't be no transactions, and there's not. So this will just be blank. And so I started off with $180, added in another $80, and then I should have $260. Okay, for annual subscriptions, I did use this. So I started off with 30, added 138, spent 20, so I should have $148 remaining. So 148. And again, I just spent the 20 on Squarespace. All right, now for vet and grooming. So I think I'm gonna just write it like this. Plus the 46.92. Because I didn't subtract from it. Okay, so I had 48, 43, and then I added $15 at the beginning of the month, and now I'm adding the 46.92 from the pet fund. So this is remaining with $110 with 35 cents, and I'm just going to write that again down here. All right, and then the last one is health and wellness. So that started off with $201.55, and I just had these two transactions, so going from the last one. Oh, and I spent everything. So, well, that one's easy. So $201.55, and this is at 0. All right, so let me do my totals real quick. So the 45.06 plus 55 plus the 17.60 plus the 210 plus 20 plus 201.55 equals 351.31, but we gotta subtract the 46.92 because that wasn't spent. It was just transferred between two categories. So minus the $46.92. So the total amount of sinking funds I spent for the month was $304 with 39 cents. Okay, so if we do this math across, so we take what we started off for the beginning of the month, $441.75, plus the $733 from the monthly budget, equals $1,174.75, minus the $304 with 39 cents equals $870.36. And that number should match the total of this column, which we will check right now. So $39.94 plus $32.40 plus $279.67 plus $260 plus $148 plus $110 with 35 cents equals $870.36. So $870.36, and that number should match our weekly balance in week 4, which is the $870.36. So that all matches, which means I didn't make any calculation mistakes this month, which can happen. So it's good to have multiple ways to verify your numbers, just so you know everything is adding up and making sense. All right, so that was the last thing we needed to verify. So I'm just going to do a last flip through of this budget spread for the month of December, because we are all good to go now. We ended the year on a good note. We have $126.32 remaining, and I will roll that over into my January monthly budget. That video is most likely already posted, but I will go ahead and add that in, and you'll just see that in my future videos after this one. All right, so I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you all next time. Bye.